Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you, everybody? I hope that you are in good and condition. Meet again with me in this channel, English channel, in FES'T Fun English at Smash with Rizam Zagi. Okay, students, for today, I would like to discuss about a lesson relating with the use of conditional sentence. You know that there are three types of conditional sentence that you will learn, but today I would like to just ask you to learn about one of the kinds in a conditional sentence. So student, let's start for the discussion. Okay, students, you know that from this title I give you if only you are means that I would like to discuss about the use of conditional sentence type 1, and also there is an additional information for you to know about the type of conditional sentence in type 0. Okay, these lessons exactly start in 11th grades of Transcendental class, and it consists of 3.3 cognitive skills and also 4.3 psychomotor skill. We continue for the first of all, before we go to the lessons, I would like to give you the general view of the basic components of cognitive skill in 3.3. It is about applying social function, generic structures, and language features of written and spoken interactive transactional text involving the expressions of asking and giving information relating with the future planning based on a specific condition corresponding to the context of its use. And then it also says to us about the indicators. It also gives you the knowledge about the indicators that you should achieve during learning this lesson. The first is identifying the social function, text structures, and language features if clause type 0 and 1 in writing and speaking skill. Number 2 is modifying the factor into if clause type 0 or 1 in writing and speaking skill, and applying if clause type 0 and 1 in writing and speaking skill. And then to get more understanding about the lessons, I also show you the example in the conversations. This is the conversations between Howard and Kimberly. Here you can see Howard says, "Hi Kimberly, it's a bright morning, isn't it?" Kimberly said, "Hi Howard, yeah, you're right. Where are you going?" "I'm going to have a picnic if the sky keeps bright still." "Why do you say so? Isn't it a spring month?" And then Howard said, "Lately, the climate on Earth is unstable anymore." And Kimberly, "What causes this happen?" Howard said, "One of them is greenhouse. It can reduce oxygen levels." Kimberly, "I can't catch your idea. Tell me clearly, please." "When greenhouse reflects the sun hits, the temperature of the Earth rises. It instantly and makes season unstable. I get it now. If it occurs continuously, the ozone layers will gradually become thinner. I think it will. The worst one is that the creatures in the Earth will be extinct because of the direct sunlight exposure. Kimberly, we have to take an action to prevent this is going worse." "You are right. If we reduce the greenhouse, the atmosphere will stay safely. Besides, we can increase oxygen level by doing reforestation. Do you hear it? My dad blows the horn. Here we go, my experience. If you don't stop our chat now, you will lose your fun time. Bye Kim, see you soon. I'm looking forward to hearing your experience soon." So that is the conversation between Howard and Kimberly, that exactly if you can analyze the first of the time, you can understand, and also you can find the use of conditional sentence type 0 and also type 1. Before that, I would like to give the explanation in detail. Restrictions of the layer. I would like to give you the conditional sentence type 0. This type consists of if clause condition and main clause consequence in simple present. You should remember that And the point of the sentence is that conditional sentence type 0 always use simple present. It describes the conditions happening naturally and commonly known by all people. And then the example I give you here: if you rub two stones each other, they create fire sprinkles. If you rub two stones each other is if clause, while they create fire sprinkle is main clause. You can see between if clause and main clause, they both use simple present. And then if metal is drawn to the sea for a long time, it becomes corroded. If metal is drawn to the sea for a long time, if clause, and then it becomes corroded, main clause. So you can see that from two examples I give to you here, that something that naturally happening without any artificial activity from people, so it is called as conditional sentence type 0. This is naturally happening when you rub two stones each other. The stones will create the sprinkle, so it is naturally happening. And then if metal is drawn to the sea for a long time, it becomes corroded. It is naturally, or it is chemical process. It is chemical process. So it doesn't any relation with people activity. And the last example I give you: lunar eclipse happens if the sun takes position between moon and earth. Lunar eclipse happens if is the main clause, and then if the sun takes position between moon and earth, if clause. So lunar eclipse happens, there is no the involve of the persons in it to make the lunar eclipse, but it is happening naturally. And then here I give you the next discussions of our lessons today is about conditional sentence type 1. You should know first what conditional sentence type 1 is, and then this type is consists of if clause condition in simple present and main clause consequence in simple future. So the differences between conditional sentence type 0 and also the conditional sentence type 1 is from the main clause. If in conditional sentence type 0 we use simple present as well as in if clause, but in conditional sentence type 1, in if clause you use simple present, while in main clause you use simple future. It's also called as possible at future. It is possible happening. Okay, it means that if the condition is carried out, if the condition is carried out or done, the main clause will possibly happen. The example is, if I have couples of love this week, I will have a holiday in Holland. If I have couples for love this week is if clause, and I will have a holiday in Poland. If I do the couples of love for this week, so maybe I will have a holiday in Poland. So it is maybe happening, I have holiday in Poland if the love happens this week. And then the second example is, if the ship docks to the port, all passengers can lose the seat belt. This is if clause. All passengers can lose the seat belt is a main clause. If the ship docks to the port, if the ship goes to the port, or maybe if the ship arrives to the port, all passengers can lose the seat belt. So all passengers can lose the seat belt. So if the ship doesn't approach or doesn't dock to the port, so all passengers can't or cannot lose the seat belt. Okay. And then the next example, we will leave for Jakarta as scheduled if everybody can gather on time. We will leave for Jakarta as scheduled, main clause, if everybody can gather on time. So you can see here, if we put if clause in front, we need comma, but if we put if clause at the back of the sentence after the main clause, we don't need put comma. Okay, you clear? And also, you can see here, if followed by simple present, while main clause using simple future will live. It also happens to the other examples I gave. If I have couples of love this week, it is simple present. I will have a holiday in Poland. Will have, it is the characteristic of simple future. So this is simple future. If the ship talks simple present, dog verb and then added by s, it is means that it is simple present. All passengers can lose the seatbelt. Can lose is something that will happen if the ship docks. So it is also called as future. Now let's check for the conversations that I've already given to you the previous or the first early discussion of the lesson. However, hi Kimberly, it's great morning, blah blah blah, until the last, in the last of the conversation. Can you analyze which is the use of if clause type 1 and type 0? This is type 1 or type 0? Yeah, this also this is type 1 and this is type 0. You can see the difference. If the sky keeps still, I'm going to have a picnic. This is this activity has relation with people activity, or this is artificial activity. But for this one, it is not an artificial activity because it happens naturally, done by ozone layers. Ozone layers. Depending on the ozone layers, and then the effect is that gradually becomes thinner, and then the atmosphere stays safely. If we reach the greenhouse, you will lose your phone time. If you don't, you stop our chat now. So from this and this exactly, this is type 0. So we don't need to put will here. If it occurs continuously, the ozone gradually becomes thinner. It is okay because this is the conditional sentence type 0. And as well as happening for this one, we reach the greenhouse, the atmosphere stays safely. So present, we don't need to put will because it is naturally happening. When the greenhouse doesn't appear, the atmosphere stays safely. The creatures in Earth will be extinct. Sunlight exposure hits them correctly. The creatures in the earth is extinct. It's okay. Now in this section, I would like you to do the activity of the first assessment is match a sentence in part A column with if clause in part B column. This one. This is the first assessment that I need you to do. So if the water gets low temperature on -5 degrees Celsius, so the main clause, which one the suitable main clause that you can choose? You can you should write the sentence, not you write the letter. So in your answer, you should, if the water gets low temperature on -5 degrees Celsius, and then, or maybe you should pass it carefully, or maybe something. This is only the example, but you can choose by your own self which answer that's suitable for the if clause that you choose. Okay, this is the first assessment for you, and then it's also I ask you to do this in your task. If I am late for class, so what's your response? When he stays up very late, so what's your response? People get hungry, what's the response? If I'm late for the class, so it remains the main clause in blank. So you should put main clause here. When he stays up very late, this also can be put as a plus, and then what the main clause of the sentence. People get hungry is main clause, you need if clause. If you study hard, it is if class, so you need main class. Blah 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 until 15. Okay, until 15, you do this assessment. The next is for 4.3 basic component of psychomotor. I would like to show you about the contents of 4.3. Yeah, the contents is here. Oh, okay. The contents is here. Number one is composing written and spoken interactive transactional text involving the expressions of asking and giving information relating with circumstance based on the context of its use. For conditional sentence type 1. So in 4.3, I need you to compose the use of conditional sentence in writing and speaking skill. It is the indicator. And the assessment for 4.3 is I would like you to do a short conversation using if clause in tab 1 and also if clause in tab 0. So for the first assessment that I have already given to you, that you should match between part A sentences with part B sentences and you combine them into a good conditional sentence in type. And then also for assessment 1, there is an additional assessment for you. You should complete the sentence that some parts of the sentence is not available. Number 1 to number 15, it is the assessment 1. For the assessment 2, now I need you to make or to compose the conversation, that the conversations includes the use of if clause in type 1 and also type 0. Well, students, I think that's all for the discussions today about the lessons if clause in type 1 and type 0. I hope that you're in a good health, still keep motivation in learning, and meet again with me with the similar channel in English channel FES'T, Fun English as Mas with Rizam Zaki. See you next time. Have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.